welcome to my video poster presentation. My name is Andrew Mahmood. I'll be presenting on the assessment of fitness and wellness services at Fort Lewis College. For our study, we will be looking at the motivations of the Fort Lewis College population and why they would use the Student Life Center services. Our purpose to this study is to find the strongest motivators for students and faculty to use the Student Life Center services in hopes to be able to improve the Student Life Center for future use. Our question was what the strongest motivators are to use the fitness and wellness services at Fort Lewis College and how we can improve the Student Life Center. So our hypothesis is that we will be obtaining 5 top motivators, and we're pretty sure that out of these motivators, mindfulness, appearance, and weight management will be at least in the top 5. For a sampling method, we did a random chance sampling by distributing electronic surveys. The electronic surveys were administered through text message or email to students that we would meet and greet on campus, or sending text messages to students in our classes, sending out mass emails to the student population, and getting surveys collected back. All of our surveys had to be fully completed for them to be admitted as data. Any incomplete surveys were omitted. Our methodology was to use the EMI2 survey questionnaire. This questionnaire we pulled directly from the Boren 2017 study. It is an exercise motivation index, and it's just been used time and time again to produce useful information on the strongest motivators to exercise, or in this case to use a Student Life Center. We also added a demographics pool of questions. So we had 7 demographic questions that would help break up our data in hopes that we would get some better results based on our motivations if we were able to break it up into race or male versus female or campus versus non-campus, just so that we could get a little bit more data to report back on rather than just the motivations to use the SLC. For our testing design, we used the chi-square test to analyze 2 different variables. Since both of our variables were categorical, we had to use this test in order to measure the different frequencies of trueness between all the questions on the questionnaire. So all of our data came back mostly as we expected, based on the LSS study using Instagram and social media to judge your appearance as a strong motivator to exercise. Appearance was one of our top 5 motivations, as well as nimbleness, weight management, revitalization, and stress management, which all correlate pretty well to all of the research that we've done. One other valuable piece of information that we weren't really able to report on was that colleges that have a better recreation service tend to have better retention rates. The study from Lindsay in 2006 had shown higher retention rates for college campuses that had a recreation service, and since Fort Lewis does have one, hopefully that can help us with recreation rates as well, assuming we can get the usage up a little bit based off of this study. So our results are broken down into 2 graphs. The first graph demonstrates all 14 of the motivations that were recorded from the EMI2. All of these motivations are broken down into how true the question was for the person taking the survey. So it went from a scale of 0 to 5, 5 being very true, 0 being not true at all. Our actual data results, we're only going to pull the top 5 motivations. That way we don't have a slew of data from all 14. We gathered our top 5 based on the 5 motivations that had the highest volume. So the most 5s, 4s, and 3s, just the highest total score. Out of those motivators, we were able to see revitalization being one of the highest as most true for students. So this means that they're using the SLC to get a little mental boost, a physical boost. They just feel better if they go and exercise or use the gymnasium or the climbing wall. So it's a way for them to kind of escape and then come back and finish their studies or whatever other jobs they have to do on campus. So in conclusion, we weren't able to determine whether or not the motivations would overpower the students' priorities. So we found this to be a flaw in our research, that we didn't ask what priorities might get in the way of them using the Student Life Center. We were only worried about the motivations for them to actually go. And the motivations also remain a constant through our data and the research that we've done, which is easy to see based on our top 5 motivations. And then each research study that was more specific would pull at least one of these motivators and then show that that's why most people on a college campus would use the recreation service, whether it's just to look better or feel better, or maybe they have some kind of health issues they're working to prevent. We also took one open-ended question from all the surveys. So this open-ended question just simply asked what students thought could be improved at the Student Life Center. And a majority of the questions came back as the Student Life Center needs to have more availability. So the hours are too short for the students to be able to utilize it when they need to. And also that the size of it wasn't quite adequate for how many people are on campus. So the Student Life Center is getting crowded, they don't want to go because it's too crowded, or the times that they need to go, there's just too many people there. And I don't know how much we can really do to improve that, but it's good to know that the Student Life Center is working on these top 5 motivations with its advertising and trying to appeal to the student body. A couple of issues that we had with our research that we could consider a limiting factor is, number one, our survey was very long. At 52 questions, many people would open up the survey, get halfway through it, and then quit. So we only used fully completed surveys, and any surveys that didn't get completed were omitted. We actually had 278 surveys out and only received 102 back that were fully completed. We also determined that 75 out of 102 surveys were completed by the white population. While this does reflect the population at Fort Lewis College, it would not very well reflect the population on different college campuses. So it might benefit to do this study on multiple campuses to get a greater demographic, considering the majority of our surveys came back from the white population. We also noticed a trend that female participants were more likely to complete the survey. We had a significantly larger amount of female surveys returned compared to male surveys. So out of 102, there were more than 50% female, and if we were to take the demographic on that, we wouldn't really have very accurate data. So one thing that we could try to do is take a full male survey, just 100 participants all male, do a separate study, 100 participants all female, and then compare the data from the 2 different surveys collected, rather than just random sampling and trying to get the biggest demographic that we can get. So with all of that said, our top 5 motivators being nimbleness, appearance, weight management, revitalization, and stress management show that it's likely people are using the SLC at Fort Lewis College for your casual, most sought after reasons to use a gym, whether it's to improve their appearance or get a mental escape or a little bit of an energy boost. The SLC can use this information to try to dive into those a little bit more specifically, whether they want to have more competitions or try to appeal to more people that are just there to kind of clear their head. Maybe they can do shorter classes or be open in between more frequent class breaks, like if they have something super early or between really popular class hours, it might benefit them to do some shorter activities, something that gets the population active really quick, lets them clear their mind, get a little bit of fitness in, and then be able to go back to their daily work. Any questions? All right, thank you.